about that topic. Hopefully I'll have an opportunity to read a couple rhymes later on in the segment, But a lot of topics. One of them that I'm going to read is actually a conversation starter about the barter system. You were talking about where I'm from earlier. Back home, cash is hard to get. Even today, cash is hard to get. It's kind of a control thing. So we use a system that's ancient back home. It's called a barter system. It's a simple system, but nothing goes to waste. Whatever you have access, you trade with another neighbor for what they might have. So if I go to the yard, the farmer or whatever, and I buy a rod of potatoes and I dig them up, put them in a basket and bring them home, and whatever is in that rod on the ground I dig up, are mine. I paid for the whole rod. I did the labor to dig them up. But now I got too many potatoes. So I'm like, Dave, what you got you could trade me for some of these potatoes? And you be like, oh, well, I went to the beach the other day and I got all these fish. So how about you give me some potatoes and I give you some fish? So you kind of swap off different things. But it's a system that's old, ancient, but we are still using it today as a simple system. Everybody be wondering, how are we going to survive without money? Well, how did you survive before without money? Money is not, it's not brand new, but there were systems in place prior to the forms of money that we know today.
Yeah. Well, and that still works. That's neighbor taking care of neighbor. And I think not only in the islands, but here in the States, we've gotten away from that because, growing up, that's how it used to be. Nobody on the block went hungry. If we had, everybody had. So.
I came from the village. That's a village concept.
There you go.
I had 4 or 5 mamas. I couldn't get away with nothing.
Right.
These folks could actually whoop your butt
and then
send you home. You
get another one. There you go. So I see it doesn't change from the mainland to the islands at all. Okay, well, you said you wanted to put a segment in, one of the poems in this segment, No Better Time Than the Present. All right, Pete, so tell us the poem that you want to read for this segment.
This one is called My Mother. My mother was a mother like no other, and she was my first inspiration. My mother, man, she could play just about any musical instrument. She could write music. She did everything possible she could for the church. But my thing was, when you're young, man, and stuff is right there in front of you, sometimes you don't really appreciate it. I spent so much time regretting that I didn't pick more of my mother's knowledge, how to write music and not just read music, but actually how to write, how to compose, how to put the bars, the music in the bars, and how many beats and all that stuff that she was into. I was a kid. I just wanted to get away, go surf, I didn't want to spend my entire weekend in church. When I say we went to church the entire weekend, Sunday you can hang it up. Sunday you went to church in the morning, you might get a break, noon, then you're back for the evening, and you might be back for the late service at night, depending on the mood that Mama was in, So I just wanted to get away, man. I wanted to do other things, but in hindsight, I'm sorry I really didn't, appreciate what she was trying to give me more. So one of the things I need to put out there to the youth is, if you're in a situation where you got an elder trying to teach you any kind of music or any trade, anything you could use down the road, accept that gift. If a guy is trying to teach you how to change a tire, accept that gift. Because you might get a flat one night in the dark on the side of the street with nobody around, And if you don't know to change the tire, you could be there for a minute.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You know, so
No
when
doubt.
an elder is trying to give you a gift, man, in hindsight, I regret not accepting many gifts that elders were trying to give me just because they were elders and they was kind of rebellious at that stage, you know.
Right. All right. Well, without further ado, here's Pete Hotep and
My mother.
and my mother.
My mother. Missing you still, although you're gone, you're not forgotten. You always said your fill, had your will. Your name will never be downtrodden. Mother like no other in the world, I can't describe you with words. Only you could have done the things you did. Although some would have said it's for the birds. Trials and tribulations we went through, but only the two of us knew. Help from the Most High assisted you and me too. Everything you needed was